This is a free download of the FM104 Phone Show, Ireland's #1 late-night radio show with Adrian Kennedy.
Next on the programme, you may have seen this story in the news today about an actor, Joseph Purcell, who admitted to shoplifting €58 worth of food for his family because he was desperate. He claims that he and his family had run out of money and the children were hungry. So he hopped in his car and went to 2 different shops to steal groceries like cereal and sugar. He was quoted as saying, "I knew my children would be getting up the next day hungry and I knew that I couldn't go home with nothing. So he went out in his car and stole from 2 different shops, but he was eventually caught. He was given 100 hours of community service, but was that even too much of a punishment for a man stealing to feed his family?" The point being, is there a point at which stealing is acceptable? If it is that you're that desperate. And we know some people are literally on the breadline. He claims that his children's allowance had been stopped in error and that he was desperate. He needed food, so he decided to steal. Some people believe fair play to him. Others are saying, no, you can't. Stealing is stealing is stealing. Get help from somebody so that you don't have to steal. Derek, you're on FM104. How are you, Derek?
Hello, good evening, Adrian.
Now, Derek, you believe that at certain times it's okay to steal?
Unfortunately, I don't think it's right to steal at all. But what I'm saying is the man had to do it, to put a crust into his children's gob. Do you know what I mean? And I think the system let him down.
And okay, do you not see that stealing is stealing is stealing, and that, you know, you do anything rather than steal? Well,
I think you do anything to put a bit of food into his kid's mouth. Now, if it was stealing for like a plasma TV or something like that, or a bank robbery or something like that, but the fact is, the gentleman was, I'll call him a gentleman, because he was looking after his kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's very sad on Irish society that a man has to be reduced to that.
But here's the thing, Derek. If that were the case, everybody who's on welfare or who's struggling for a few bob would go out and shoplift, and most people don't. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, but Adrian, if look at it from a father's perspective. If you're looking at, I don't know how many children that gentleman has, and I'd still call him a gentleman.
He's 3 children.
Or 3 children. You got 3 pairs of eyes looking at you, hungry eyes. And as a father, you do anything to fill their little bellies and to send them to school, etc. And okay, there's right and wrong, and I think the judge was wrong.
You think the judge was wrong to give him 100 hours of community service?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Well, you should have let him away with it.
No.
Right, do you think the judge should have been easier on him or harder on him?
Easy.
Easier on him?
Yeah, I think they should have, the gentleman wasn't getting his proper entitlements, and I think the judge should have just saying, I'll take €1 off your entitlements.
Right, so you believe that he was unfairly treated, and like I said, his children's allowance had been stopped in error, and he claimed that he was desperate, he needed food, so he decided to steal. When you hear that, you obviously think that God love him, he had to do what he had to do.
Yes, I do. But at the same time,
Adrian, yeah.
Adrian, I'm saying, okay, he did wrong. That's what I'm saying. He did wrong. But as soon as his entitlements were sorted, the judge should have said, look, listen, right, gather up what the children were owed or whatever, or back payments, etc. The judge should have said, look, listen, you pay €1 to the shopkeeper and €1 for a fine. You know, because at the end of the day, he didn't do it for himself, he did it for his children. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, no, I do understand that.
And sorry, hold on. And they're the innocent. They're the innocent. He only did it to put a bit of grub into their gob. You know what I mean?
Okay, now, and this is what I'm really trying to find out. Is the poverty trap so bad in Ireland now that people feel the need to rob, and that robbing for food is justifiable? That's what I'm really trying to find out. And you obviously believe that it is that bad.
Yes, I do.
Christopher, you're on FM104. How are you, Christopher?
Oh, yeah, Adrian.
Good, Christopher.
Listen to me now. This is where it starts everything off. There's people walking. I'm not even going to say yourself. There's people walking. But there's people that hasn't got any jobs. And what I'm saying is, everything cut. Everybody will be going into shops to feed their kids. That's not walking. So, would you like a crying child looking at you during the day, no dinner? Because you course you're going to go down to a shop, I'll take it.
So what are you saying, that you can understand how this man did this?
That's what's going to happen. They're cutting back too much. And look, the Vincent de Paul can't even deal. They haven't got the money to help people. And this is what's happening. Where the Vincent de Paul had the money, and they were coming up to people's houses every Tuesday, every Friday, and helping them. They haven't got the money now, and this is what's happening. They're going out, because I will go out and into a shop, and I'll take what I can't to feed my kids. That's all I'm saying. And I think it's right. Just go into a shop. Let the judge give you 6 months, whatever he wants to give you. You're out there looking at your kids. Because if I didn't be looking at them, they'd been starving. Because I hadn't got the money to give it to them.
Okay, but my point is, Christopher, some people have been on to us saying it's a disgrace that this man even got 100 hours of community service.
Of course it is.
He should have got nothing. The judge should have said, I'm really sorry for your troubles, off you go.
Of course it is.
But if that's the case, yeah, but hang on, Christopher, if that's the case, everybody would start doing it then.
What's going to happen? Everybody's going to be doing it till they get caught. And they keep doing it. That's what I'm trying to say to you, Adrian. That's what's going to happen.
Okay, do me a favour, Christopher. Turn down your radio in the background there, please, if you will.
Okay, right.
Good man. Thanks very much indeed. Stay there for 1 second. John, you're on FM104. How are you, John?
Oh, not too bad, Adrian. How's it going yourself?
Grand, thank you, John. Now, you've heard the story of this temporarily out-of-work actor. Claims he hadn't a washer. There was a mess up over his children's allowance. He had no money and he went out stealing. He got 100 hours of community service. What do you think of this?
I think he should have got more.
You think he should have got more? Why?
Yeah, because as you said, he hopped into his car and drove down. He wouldn't sell his car if he wanted to get food for his kids.
That's a fair point, Christopher.
What do you say? I'm not the head what he said. How can you sell a car and no one's even buying them? They haven't got the money to buy them.
They have.
That's not what?
Listen, if he can hop into a car, he's money for petrol. So instead of putting petrol into it, if he can hop into his car, he's money for petrol.
Discussions on the radio show that they're robbing petrol. And you have no money, you rob the petrol.
No, you're not on about that. Listen, what if you were the shop owner, what would you say?
No, I wouldn't give a shit. I wouldn't give a shit.
You would.
If you're a garage owner, I wouldn't give a shit about it. If I hadn't got the petrol, I'd go into a garage and then go to the shop and rob it if my kids were hungry.
No. You go out to everyone else and work for it. You go out to everyone else and work for it.
Then how can you, if he's disability, I'm on disability and I can't walk.
Right.
Yeah. So if you can't walk, how can you get a job?
What age are your kids?
What, say it again?
What age are your kids?
What age? Now, I don't want to even go there, you know what I mean?
So, yeah, you see.
I don't want to even go there with my kids. I'm just saying that you're talking about he has a car. He wouldn't be able to sell the car. No one has money to buy a bloody car.
There's no one that broke in the country.
There's no one that...
And this is exactly the question, Christopher. Are people that broke in this country that they need to go and rob food?
Well,
as John just said, this guy drove to the shops.
Okay, I'm going to say one thing to Adrian, and I'm going to knock it off. You're going to see an awful lot of people ended up in court, and then you can call me back on another conversation that I'm at the saying to you, that everybody that's hungry, and they see that child hungry, that has no money, no job, and I guarantee you see the courts, it'll be only shoplifting, petty crime, and it's just to feed the kids. That's all it is.
John, you believe that there is no excuse for... You don't believe anybody's that desperate that they have to rob food?
No, so that's the case, and you get into the shop to rob food to feed the alcoholic wife or something, you know? That'd be the next thing.
There's man's even not the same day. He gave up smokes today. He gave up drink. Does some man listen to the news that I'm talking today now? He was on there today, the man.
Hey.
He gave up smokes. He gave up drink. He doesn't even drink once a week. One day a week, him and his wife. And he gave up everything there, and he hadn't got the money. So, and his kids crying. He wouldn't get up. You know what I mean? He gets up in the morning, and he sees his kid. I'm not leaving him. He's right. And you're seeing that for that more. Because no parent will leave their kids hungry.
Well, see, the argument is, Christopher, how did it get that bad that he suddenly realised one evening, geez, we've no food?
Oh, how does things get that bad? When everything's cut, Adrian, are you stupid?
Well, no, but hang on. John's argument is, if things are that bad, sell your car. You'll get at least €1,000 for a car. That'll keep you going for a while.
I mean, 1,000. How could he get 1,000? Wait, you put a car on there, buy and sell now, and you wouldn't need... Adrian, I'm telling you, they haven't got the bloody money out.
Euro.
What?
You would out rob €58. If you're that stuck with money, you ask a friend or a mate or a family for lending money for the next day.
Then he has principles that he doesn't want to ask then, does he?
No. We'll pre with his mom.
He might going out getting the kids, just taking it himself. He's not... Would you like to ask your family that my kids are hungry?
So I'd rather ask him to go out and rob it.
Would you?
Yeah, I would have no problem with it.
Then, so...
Yeah.
No. You don't like... then he might... Hold on. He could have asked his family ages... a couple of weeks ago, every week, and the family said, I'm getting a bit browned off with you, you have no money. You know, just different things for different folks, you know what I mean?
All right, stay there for 1 second. John, you're on FM104. How are you, John?
Yeah, I do.
Grand, thanks, John. You have stolen food yourself?
I have did, Adrian, yeah, I have. And I've no qualms in saying it. Some weeks, Adrian, we're up with money, and some weeks we're down with money. And I've often walked through the checkouts with food. For the simple reason is I had to order to pay for it. And if it means robbing the food, I would rob it. Yeah, I have done, Adrian, and I have no qualms in saying it.
The things have been that bad that you have found yourself having to rob?
Never thought I'd see it in my life, ever in my life.
And what's your situation? I assume you're out of work, are you?
Of course I am, yeah. I've been out of work for a couple of years. So is my fiancée. We can't get work, Adrian. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's on there giving a crap there. I mean, you want to understand how bad it is there. Like, I know you get to pay my heating, to pay my rent, to pay, you know, everything that I have to pay in this house. I'm not for feck all, Adrian. Basically. I mean...
And things get that bad sometimes that you have to go and rob a large slice pan or, you know, what sort of things will you rob?
Ham, cheese, bread for the kids' lunches. I rob a few juices for the kids' lunches.
You see, my question to you is, John, is it not just down to budgeting your money well enough?
No, it's not, Adrian, because the money that we're on for the family there, you know, the budget we have, Adrian, the money that the social welfare is giving us is not enough. Definitely not enough. Like, if you think back, Adrian, we were getting a double week coming up to the Christmas period. We were getting this, we were getting that. Like, that's all gone.
Mm-hmm. I understand that.
See, when I come into the Christmas, Adrian, I'm going to rob like fuck. I know I am. See my turkey and ham, that won't be paid for, because I'm going to have to get it for free. I wouldn't be able to afford it, Adrian. I robbed it last year, and I'll rob it this year too. Like, there's no doubt about that I would be able to afford the food that I used to be able to afford, basically. I mean,
okay, so you believe that you've had no choice but to rob. Well, there you go, John. He says he's no choice but to rob.
Well, then can we just ask him a question? He's going to go out and rob his turkey and ham this year, right? Does he not realise that he's robbing that off someone else's plate? Like the owner of the shop, he has to fend for himself too.
In other words, it's tough on everybody, even the shopkeeper, John, that you're robbing off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? The big supermarket chains, they won't feel it.
No. They're overhead like colossal.
I'm going to say something to you. They won't feel it as much as I'll feel it. That's been out.
I work for a supermarket chain as a security guard. I'm not telling you which, but you do feel it.
I don't care what you do, to be honest with you. I couldn't care less.
That's the attitude you have, then.
Yeah, it is the attitude I have, because that's the way the country's gone, and that's the way the social welfare system has gone. And I used to pay my taxes. I used to have good jobs. I used to pay my taxes. Now I'm resulted to this, which is a fucking sickening act. It's a sickening act, and I agree. It's a fucking sick act.
It's going in chorus at home in the house.
I'll agree with anybody out there. But what I have to do is what I have to do, and I will do it. And I will do it this Christmas again.
John, the other John, you obviously believe this is all down to poor management, money management, that leads people to feel they have to do this.
Well, kind of, yeah. Well, they shouldn't have to, but like some of them, I bet you he's probably a Sky television home broadman. You know, like, get rid of them, put food on the table.
I mean, well, hang on for 1 second, John. I want to just read a tweet that's just come in to me from Sarah, and she says, it's one thing stealing when stuck, but that lad is taking the piss, knowing already that he's going to steal for Christmas.
I know that.
But, I mean, that's planning. This man, at least, this actor that we were talking about, claims that it was in the evening and he knew there was no food in the house for the kids for the next day. That's why he went out and robbed. No, he wasn't planning to do it.
But I know this. This is a sad. That's what I said. It's sick. I know this in my own heart and soul that I'll have to do it this Christmas because things are that bad. So you can call me what you like. You can call anybody what you like. But there's a lot of people out there like me, Adrian.
Okay, stay there for a second. Francis, you're on FM104. How are you, Francis?
Hello, Adrian. How are you?
Grand, thanks, Francis.
And just listen, that actor that robbed that thing, it was done impulsively. He didn't plan it. Now listen, your man is saying he has a car and petrol. Now, Adrian, you know yourself when you're an actor and you're out of work, you really are out of work, and you need transport in case you're called to do something. And all that pisses me off about the whole thing is every bloody day in the paper you get scumbags doing drugs, beating up people. They get community service. They don't have to do shit, but this poor man is after doing this, and he's bloody blackened by everyone. And I'm telling you, Adrian, if it was my bloody kids and I had no food, I would bloody do the same. And I'm very sorry. I think the judge was really harsh on him. 100 bloody years, and the scumbags are walking away from doing serious things. No, Adrian, it's very...
You think it was disgraceful that this man was given this sentence?
100 hours. It was disgraceful. The man needs help, and you're saying the Vince and the Paul. Jesus Christ, all the charity organisations are up to their tonsils. They can't help everyone. And I do understand this poor man doing that. Because if he was really a bad man, he'd rob really big things, wouldn't he? Not second food. No, I think the judge...
And just to give our listeners an idea of what he actually did rob, he paid for some milk in SuperValu and Fairhouse, but also put other items like cheese, biscuits and bread rolls in the bag. Got into the car and he realised, geez, I don't have enough. So he went to the Spar in Fairhouse and he thought he'd be able to walk out without being seen with cornflakes and bread and other groceries. But when he got to his car, and got in. A manager opened the passenger door and ordered him out of the car because he'd been caught red-handed. Now,
Adrian, when he opened his bag, he didn't find caviar or wine in it or chocolates. Basic food. That'll tell you how desperate the poor man is. The judge was too harsh on him, 100 hours. And you know yourself, every day you pick up the paper and there's some scumbags get away with murder.
sorry, what are you laughing at, John?
Let John laugh what he likes.
John, are you still there?
Yeah, yeah.
What has you sniggering?
But like she's saying, it's right to go out and steal. It's not. You know?
That's the bottom line, Francis. If this man was let away with it, yeah, that is opening the floodgate. That is opening the floodgates to anybody to go, oh, I hadn't a penny in my pocket and I went and I robbed.
Listen, I tell you, Adrian, I'm not disputing that, but the man was desperate. He should have got help, really and truly. And I tell you, this is only the tip of the iceberg, Adrian. This is the first thing that's been really blown out of all proportion, because as far as things are going, it's going to happen big time.
I agree, it's going to get worse, yeah.
A hell of a lot worse. This is one man, but I can guarantee you before this year is over, there'll be hundreds of people that are robbing, and especially with this really terrible budget in December. God love them poor people with kids. That's all I can say. God love them.
All right, stay there for 1 second. Paul, you're on FM104. How are you, Paul?
The rich are getting rich.
Good evening to you.
Now, Paul, what did you want to say on this?
I just wanted to make 2 points. One point will be directed at the, how can I say, Dublin John. Is he still there?
Yes, he is, yeah.
I distinctly remember a few weeks ago he was on boasting about how many pints he drinks on cans he buys down in the local Lidl with him and his fiancée, and boasting on a Saturday night of drinking 24 cans. So maybe if he gave up that...
That's a fair point, John. I actually remember that myself.
And he also had property abroad too, if I remember correctly, I'm saying. So I think he's just a lawyer, a scumbag lawyer, to be quite honest. Uneducated, Adrian.
Adrian.
Yes, go on, John, yeah. That's
an arsehole. If I had property abroad and I was buying drink the way I was buying it, that's a muppet. Oh, there. God.
You know, I do hear him on a lot, Adrian, and he's an uneducated...
You're full of shit. You're full of shit, mate. If I had property abroad, I'd be doing well, believe me.
Let's cancel the property and talk about the drinking, right?
Drinking, property abroad, I tell you, I wouldn't be talking to you, or I wouldn't be talking to Adrian Kennedy tonight. That's being honest.
But I do remember you a couple of weeks ago talking about drinking and buying drink for kids and all of that.
Yeah, thank you, Adrian.
No, it was about the junior cert.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about buying drink for myself, Adrian. I was talking about buying drink and letting them drink in the house. It wasn't about me or about, I don't know what that arsehole was talking about.
All right, so you're an upstanding man of society. Good man, John.
Paul, let me ask you this: what do you think of people who claim they have to rob food for their kids?
Well, I totally disagree with it, Adrian. But there's different points, okay? And the point about that man today, okay, it's very, very sad. But I think that we don't know his circumstances. We don't know what type of family he had. Does he have a family or his partner or whatever? But I think if you're on your own, and as the other guy said, like if a pair of little eyes looking up at you or that, I think the natural thing is to go into survival mode. Like hunting, like animals. That's what I think. So, I think 100 hours community service was a bit harsh on that. Maybe a suspended sentence or something. But I can understand where he's coming from.
Okay, stay there for 1 second. Lisa, you're on FM104. How are you, Lisa?
Hey, Adrian.
Now, Lisa, you have also robbed for your kids.
I have, yeah. My fiancé died, and obviously I was left with 2 kids. And yeah, I shoplift all the time for them, but it's just for basic stuff, like it's like milk, bread, like eggs, things like this. But that'd be about it. Like I wouldn't be going uptown like robbing clothes and stuff like that.
Okay, so it's the basics. And how come you can't survive on what you're getting?
Because it's just not enough.
So how much are you getting?
Well, I get $265. $265 odd.
Okay.
Yeah, then I have to pay my rent. I have to pay for the school. I know they're in public school, but I mean, I have to buy the books and the lunches and things like that. I just haven't got it.
Okay, so how is it then that other people are able to do it and you're not?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, on top of your 265, how many kids have you got?
2.
You've got 2 kids, so you're getting your children's allowance as well.
Yeah.
Which is what, 300 quid?
Yeah.
That's coming every...
Once a month, though.
I know that, yeah, once a month. But how is it, and I'm only asking this question, how is it other people, albeit difficult, are able to survive and you can't? You have to go out and rob and other people don't.
Well, I don't know. You'd have to ask them that, like...
And is this every week?
Every week, yeah.
Paul, what do you make of that? Every single week she finds herself having to rob.
Well, firstly, what galls me is when I hear the word like at every sentence, I know what's going to come out of somebody's mouth. But it's just, you can hear it in the woman's voice. You can read through the lines, Adrian. It's just sickening, and that's what's bringing down society here, and it's not affecting the shop owner, you know what I mean, directly. It's affecting the people he employs, where he might have to let one person go. It affects a lot of people down the line. And I think these people go around thinking...
Well, Lisa, what about that? That you out robbing your large slice pan or whatever it is, you're affecting somewhere along the line. Somebody somewhere along the line.
Yeah, well, it's not affecting me, so I don't really care, like...
What, you just see it as something that you have to do?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I wouldn't do it if I didn't need to do it, you know what I mean? Like, and then the government is talking about bringing in more cuts. Like, what have I to do? Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, there you go, John. She says she just can't survive.
Does she have to do it every week?
Yeah.
Why?
For me kids, like, how do you meant to survive? Like, when they see all their friends, like, with, like, all that... Like, I don't rob, like, tyres and clothes and all. I only rob to keep my kids food. Like, to get them food. That's all. Like, I only rob, like, milk, bread, things like that. Like, I don't...
And do you smoke or do you drink or...
Do I? I wish I did, because then I could spend my money on that. But I don't, no.
You don't smoke, you don't drink, do you go out much?
How can I go out? I can't afford a babysitter.
But that's why I'm asking you these questions.
No.
So your life is literally revolves around your kids.
Exactly, yeah.
And if necessary, when you have to, you go out and steal.
Yeah.
And do you have a car even?
No, I don't.
Again, I have to ask the question, how is it... I'll read a text from Rose. And she says, it is totally unacceptable to steal. We've all been there. We've had to cut back, so we've learned to improvise.
Yeah, well, Rose probably has a husband. I don't know. I'm a single mother. Do you know what I mean?
Out of your 265, how much are you paying in rent?
I pay €70 rent.
€70, so you're left with 195 for you and the 2 kids.
Yeah.
Now, it's not a lot of money. There's no denying that.
It's not.
Well, stay there for 1 second. 6797104 is our telephone number. I'd like to hear from you. Have things gotten that bad that people feel the need to steal in order to give their kids some food? Food is what... I mean, you've heard what Lisa said. She only ever robs food. She doesn't rob clothes or games or anything like that. Alan, you're on FM104. How are you, Alan?
How are you doing, Adrian?
Grand, thank you, Alan. Now, you think that it is acceptable to steal...
Sorry, Adrian. Can I just say, I never thought I'd see the day that I agreed with your man, John. But I do agree with him on this. And I agree with that girl, Lisa. Like, we're not talking about drug addicts here. We're talking about normal people who can't survive on what the situation that they're in. Like, I'm in a situation where I'm a carer. I lost my dad 6 months ago. I'm caring for my mum who has dementia now. Like, I'm saving the state. God knows how much money I'm saving them a year. Because what I have to go through, I'm her doctor. I'm her cook. I have to make sure that the clothes are there right for her to wear. God knows, I have to make sure she's washed properly. I have to look after absolutely everything. And I am saving the state so much money. Now, I don't go out and rob, because but it's getting very close. It's getting very, very close. Because I approached, Vincent Paul, and I got a phone call tonight telling me that there was people much worse off than me, that they can't help me on this occasion. Now, it's just scandalous. I started off getting €318 a week for when my dad was alive. When my dad Then I went down. I lost €6 in the first budget, €6 in the next budget. So it was €306. My dad died, and I lost €102. I'm down to €204 now. It's scandalous, absolutely scandalous. And I don't care who gets on the phone wanting to prove an argument just for the sake of it, just to get on the phone.
No, but the reason I'm even putting up... Look, I'll be honest with you, John, I couldn't survive on that. And anybody else, an awful lot of people who are fortunate enough to have a job would be terrified at the thought of having to survive on that money. Well, I know, I can speak for myself, I know I would be. The question is, though, how is it that other people who claim to be on the same level of income are able to survive?
Well, are they surviving, Adrian? Just because you don't hear about them. Like, you don't hear about who's not surviving until they appear in the Herald every other day of the week, whatever, until they're actually caught. But there's people doing all sorts of stuff to survive that you don't get to hear about. The country is just poverty-ridden. And there's an exceptional few people that have money and they don't spend it. And when they're not spending the money, the economy's not getting any better. We're not getting any better. So everybody's afraid. Anyone that has money is afraid to spend. And the people that haven't got it, well, they're surviving. But they're not all surviving. You just don't get to hear about them, Adrian. I agree with what people have been saying. That you are going to be reading.
Now, one of the things that said on in the newspaper today is that there are 450,000 people in Ireland that are living in food poverty here, where Vincent and Paul have come across situations where people are surviving on bags of crisps. That things are that bad that they can't afford a Sunday roast. They end up not even eating meat because it's too dear. The question is, how is it that some people can survive and other people can't? Is it just bad management?
Well, okay, some of it is probably bad management. I mean, there's obviously going to be a certain amount of bad management involved in finance, but there's going to be a certain quota of people. But I would say a majority of people, I know couples that are living in flats and they're struggling from 1 month to the next to pay the rent. The thing of Sunday dinner, as we know it, sitting around a table, having your chicken, having your roast, or having your cabbage and potatoes, that doesn't exist for them. Sometimes their Sunday dinner is, a special in McDonald's. That's what it's come to.
Okay, stay there for 1 second. Sarah, you're on FM104. How are you, Sarah?
Hey, Adrian. How's it going?
Grand, thanks, Sarah. Now, you've been listening to Lisa. Not on an awful lot of money, and every week finds herself having to steal. Your point on this is that you're in a similar situation, but you don't end up having to steal.
I'm in the exact same boat as her. I've got 2 kids. I'm on my own. And I get the exact same payments as her, and I don't steal. I've never once stolen.
Well, Lisa, how is she able to survive and you're not?
Well, see, maybe she's just saying that she's surviving and she's robbing, you know what I mean? Like, but you could be robbing, but you just haven't got caught.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, that's bullshit. Seriously, that is bullshit. You've no reason to go out and steal. You get an awful lot of money. It is an awful lot of money.
No, hang on. It's not an awful lot of money, Sarah.
No, but it is. It's €260-something for what? Doing nothing. And if you want to earn a little bit of
nothing, I have
to do a course. I have 2 kids as well.
Yeah, well, maybe
a 5-year-old.
Yeah, well, maybe you can obviously manage your money better than I can.
Yeah, because I don't spend my money on shite.
And what you're saying, I do.
Well, you obviously do.
Well, you see, what I don't understand, Lisa, and maybe we can try and work this out, is how it is that Sarah, you never rob.
Never ever rob.
Do you have a part-time job?
No, I've gone back to school, but I don't get anything. We're getting extra €20, but it goes straight to the creche, so I don't have to pay the creche.
Okay. Do you have family that are giving you loads of money?
No, nowhere even near family where family lives.
Okay, so you are on the exact same money as Lisa, and Lisa's been telling us that she has to rob every single week.
And I think that's bullshit. She's clearly spending her money on shite. She has to budget her money better. Or else she smokes or she drinks, one or the other, because I don't do neither.
Yeah, I don't smoke and I don't drink. And my fella is dead. Where you obviously probably have a fella.
No, I don't actually. Adrian, how many times have you heard me bitching about my ex in the show? I don't have a fella, love. I don't. And I don't get help off him either. So there you go.
Well, neither do I.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I don't know where you're spending your money on, but you're clearly spending it somewhere, and you're spending it on shite by the sounds of it. Because I can budget my money, and I can budget where all my bills are paid. Everything is done to order. Don't need to go out and steal. There's no reason. It's different, Adrian. I have sympathy for anyone that needs to go out and steal when there's no food on the table. But like I said, sending that tweet, like your man's taking the piss, like planning to go out and steal. That's just stupid.
No, that is stupid. But mind you, Lisa's not far from saying the same thing. She's saying she does it every week because she has to. Let me ask you, Sarah. You're on the same money as Lisa. You've got 2 kids as well. Have you ever found yourself that bad that you walked past the shop and thought, "Geez, I'll have to come in and rob something"?
No, never. No.
So Lisa, how? Like what?
Adrian, we get €280 as well, like each month.
No, I know that. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's an awful lot of money as well. Like it is, to me, it's an awful lot of money. I don't know about, it wouldn't be to you or whatever your wages are, I don't know. But to me, that's an awful lot of money. And that alone can be budgeted, which is what I do with it as well.
So Lisa, what are you doing wrong?
I don't know. I'd love for it to come down to me and tell me what I'm doing wrong, because I just don't know.
I've no problem sitting down with you and budgeting your money, but because I guarantee you'd still be able to save, because I'm still able to save on my money. I say €15 a week.
So you'll be sorted for Christmas as well, Sarah, will you?
I'm already paying off Christmas. I've Christmas nearly sorted, Adrian. I started Christmas off 3 weeks ago and I nearly have it sorted.
Well, she's obviously more organised than I am.
Well, stay there for a second. Anya, you're on FM104. How are you, Anya?
Hi, Adrian. How are you?
You know, Anya, you've heard Lisa, who is a single mum with 2 kids. She has to rob. You've heard Sarah, a single mum with 2 kids. She doesn't have to rob. Well, who's wrong here?
I don't know. I just want to ask that Lisa girl, does her children be with her when she's out robbing like that? You know what I mean? Like, what kind of influence is she putting on our kids? You know what I mean? Do they have to play a part in it as well? You know? Like, I live on €372 a week with myself and my fella and my 2 children, Lisa. And we make sacrifices all the time for the things, but I wouldn't ever dare be going to a supermarket and taking things off the shelves that I'm not paying for. You know what I mean? I've had to cut back on monthly bills.
You have a fella. My fella is dead. Like, the father of my kids.
I don't have a fella. Someone else. Hear that. That's not nothing got to do with it. I still have.
But hang on, Sarah's fella isn't with her either.
I don't have a fella. I don't have anybody helping me.
It doesn't matter. Sure, I have 4 mouths to feed in this house, and my house is run on solid fuel and everything like that. I still have to buy out and buy heat. I have to bloody run a car and everything on €372 a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's without your fella's wages.
No, he doesn't work.
I don't have a fella. It doesn't matter if she has a fella.
€372 a week. That's what we live on. We buy our fuel, we buy our food, we put a little bit of money aside every week. We have our monthly bills. I've had to cut back. I've had to switch off Sky. I've had to get rid of my Aircom house phone. You know what I mean? I had these things that I thought I needed and I didn't. I have me 7 channels on my television every night. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like, how can you be out saying you need to be out stealing bread and milk and butter and the likes and stuff like that? What are you spending your money on first if you think you need, like,
I pay bills as well, like, do you know what I mean? I have to pay NCL and I have to pay for gas and electricity. I
pay for them, get the meters in. Do what I did and get their meters in.
My first priority is to fill me fridge. Now listen, as soon as I collect me money, I go off to Aldi or Lidl or whatever, and my first priority is to fill me fridge full of food for my children, and it's there from Monday to Monday. That's when we get our money in the post office. You know what I mean? And I buy like 3 or 4 loaves of bread, 3 or 4 of them, 2 or 3 of them go into the freezer, and 1 is on the counter for their lunches for school in the morning. You know what I mean? I pay for my car. I have to sort out fuel for the house because the house is run on range, like, you know what I mean? So I have to get coal and all that nonsense. And it's just madness. Like, what do you be spending your money on first if you have to think you need to go into the likes of Tesco's or wherever and be navigating?
Well, let me ask you, Lisa, when was the last time you robbed stuff?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. What did you rob yesterday?
A long pan, milk, eggs, and a little thing of potatoes.
Yeah. It's like do you get rent loans, Lisa? And do you get rent loans for your gas, like?
No, I live in corporation flat, like a 2-bedroom corporation flat.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't understand
it. It's €70 a week. Plus, I have to buy gas. Plus, I have to pay for my NTL because my kids has to watch a telly. I have to heat them. I have to give them light, like electricity. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I only get
the same as every one of us.
I know it's the same as everyone is, but like, yous are obviously budgeting better than I am.
But then why don't you sit down and go to Mabs or someone? That's what I've had to do, yeah. I'll go through the household budget plan with the post office, and you can pay our bills all that way. I'm telling you, you're getting well more than enough money there to be. I hate that shit, people moaning about.
You believe, Sarah, you obviously believe that some people like Lisa here are using being on low income as an excuse to rob.
Yeah, it does my nut in when people complain about getting that money and it's not enough. That does my brains in. It absolutely wrecks my head. It really does, because it's more than enough. It's more than enough to survive on. She's got two.
I don't think it's more than enough for me.
Like, I've gone to Mabs, Adrian, and I've talking there. I don't know who that is that's talking.
Sorry, Anya, go on.
I've gone to Mabs, Adrian, and I've said to them, like, you know what I mean, how do I cut back on this stuff? We're barely keeping our head above water. Sometimes you have to scrimp and save on the likes of briquettes and coal and stuff like that.
Well, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about Lisa.
Yeah,
she's in the same situation as me. I don't know what your situation is, but she's in the exact same boat as me, and there's no reason for her not to, like, you know.
There's times here when it's bad, like, you know what I mean, and I have family support and all that, like, and they'll help me out, you know what I mean, like, they say, like, my mother-in-law, like, you know what I mean, she'll send me down a loaf of bread if I need it, like, you know, that kind of way. But, like, I wouldn't be off into the supermarket saying, right, I'm going to rob this, rob that, rob the other because I'm entitled to it because I have no money. You know, that kind of way.
Okay, stay there for a second. Let me bring in some more calls. John, you're on FM104. How are you, John?
How's it going?
John, you're saying that you can't blame Lisa robbing. Sorry, can you speak into your phone there, John? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, your phone was really bad. Go on.
I wouldn't blame her robbing there now. €260 a week. That's not now in this day and age.
No, I agree. It's not an awful lot of money. Like I said, I would be terrified at the thought of having to try and survive on that. But
Children, you've food, you've bills, you've everything.
I understand all of that. But how is it that somebody like Sarah is able to do it and somebody like Lisa isn't? And Sarah is even saying that it's more than... Well, you're hardly saying it's more than enough money, Sarah, are you?
Well, I'm used to it. Like, it's more than enough for me. Like, I wouldn't expect any more.
And do you have any money coming in from anywhere else?
No. Well, I get, like, 10 a week, but it's took off me rent allowance. Like, I don't get it, so, like, I don't actually get it. It's took off me rent.
Okay, so you're living on the exact same money as Lisa.
The exact same money.
So, John, how is it possible for one person to survive on it and another not to survive on it?
I don't know how anyone could survive on 200 with two children. €260 is fun. No fairness.
Because you budget your money.
How could you?
What do you mean, how could you? You budget your money, you budget it, like, do you not understand that word?
Spending £100 in a shop a week, yeah?
Well, not for three people, you wouldn't, unless they're going to be sitting there eating all day.
£100 is nothing now for a shop in this day and age.
Well, it depends on where you do your shopping then, doesn't it?
What are you gonna feed them all?
Well, my shopping will be £70 every 2 weeks, and then the next week it'll only be 30.
Yes,
and that's a full shop. And there's only three of us as well.
€70 for
what?
€70 for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I only have to do one big full shop every 2 weeks, and then the next week I'll only have to get bread, milk, and just the little essentials like school lunches and things like that.
2 weeks. No one in this world.
Well, then you're not doing your shopping properly. Go to Aldi like I do.
I wouldn't survive on €70 for a week and 2 weeks on a shop.
Well, then you must be a fat cunt then. Sorry,
horrible word.
No. There's not one person in this world.
I'm telling you, I do. I nearly had me Christmas and hot paid off.
Definitely not getting like €70.
All right then, I'm lying to you. Okay then. All right then.
Sarah, can you understand, even with the story of this actor, why he might have to steal food?
Well, actors is different. Their work comes and goes. They're not on a paid benefit each week, Adrian. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not, like, it's work comes and goes. Like, to be honest, he had a car and all. Like, I would have sold my car if I knew I was going to start getting that hard up and stuff, you know.
You'd sooner sell the car before you go out robbing.
Oh yeah, if I was getting that hard up, I'd sell my TV. I'd sell. Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? I'd sell stuff.
Okay, stay there for a second. Peter, you're on FM104. How are you, Peter?
Hello, how are you?
Grand, thanks, Peter.
Listen to that woman. I think if she doesn't smoke, she doesn't drink, she doesn't do anything, and she's $190 left without her children's allowance. To me, you can go to Tesco's, you could buy enough potatoes, veg for the week for about a tenner.
I don't know where you're going with the tenner.
I tell you,
she's got 2 kids, for God's sake.
A bag of potatoes, I'm telling you, well, that's €5 for the big bag of potatoes.
Now, to last you the week.
I buy them, a big bag of potatoes. You know the 10 milligrams of potatoes?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Well, fibre or less than fibre sometimes. And you can make a big pot of soup, carrots, and all, and there's soft cuts of bacon there, a pound away. And this now lying in Tesco's for €1. You get the offcuts, cut them up, make a pot of soup.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is if you try hard enough and you put enough thought into it, you can easily... I don't know if you'd survive a week on a tenner now.
What's wrong with making... No, I'm not saying it's a veg for a week. You'd buy enough veg, you would. It's very cheap.
Well, there you are, Lisa. You'd buy enough veg for a week with just a tenner. So what are you doing wrong?
Yeah, you only have to buy a bit of meat with it. Do you know what I mean? For 190, you buy a hell of a lot of food in Tesco's or in Lidl's or Aldi's. A hell of a lot.
Do you not understand? After I pay me bills and all, I don't have 190.
I know that, but it's quite cheap if you go to Aldi's or Lidl's. Aldi's, I mean, you have offers on for 35 pence per bag of onions, bags of carrots, all this. I mean, it's just laziness to me, a lot of it.
Laziness?
You have to cook. You have to cook.
Of
like
course
you did years ago. Like pot of soup, good pot of soup.
You can't eat soup every day.
No, well, I tell you, if you're hungry enough, you will.
Yeah, but I wouldn't give them soup every day when I can just go around the shop and take what I want.
Well, see, yeah, but you're not making the effort to me. I mean, that other woman can do it. Why can't you?
You see, that's the bit out of this whole conversation that I just don't get. How two women on the exact same money are not able to survive in the exact... That's the bit I don't understand that, Lisa.
And we went...
I have to buy me kids' clothes. I have to heat me...
Sure, Sarah obviously has to buy your kids' clothes as well.
Seriously. Whole kids must be going around in rags, I don't know. No, they don't go around in rags, for fuck's sake. No, they don't.
No, they don't. They don't. You can pick up
how
things...
How do you even know what your kids are wearing once you go away out there?
All right, you're just a fucking thief. End of story. You've gotten past the fucking... That is what it is. You're just a fucking thief.
That's what it is.
It is. I'm sorry, Adrian, for the language, but she's just a fucking thief. If I can live...
And you agree with that, Peter, do you?
I'm sorry, but
yeah.
There's plenty of people out there on my money. I've got plenty of friends.
I think you do it anyway.
I've got plenty of friends that are on the same amount of money and they do the exact same things that I do.
Yeah.
All right, but stay there for 1 second. I want to just bring in one last call. Tom, you're on FM104. How are you, Tom?
Oh yeah, Adrian.
Very quick.
I'd like to ask a girl that can't manage. Does she get takeaways like curries and chippers now?
No, I don't.
That's what it is.
You don't get them?
No.
Never?
Because
probably once a week, like.
Yeah.
That'd be about it.
Well, my advice to you, right, if I was you, now I'm in the same situation, me and my wife had 2 teenage children, right? I may get $3.75.
Already, you have a wife, I'm on my own.
So am I on my own. Will you stop using that as an excuse?
I'm not even talking to you.
I don't give a shite. You're making a show of yourself on the radio because there's plenty of single ma's out there and not one of them are ringing in saying they're in the same boat as you. You're just a fucking thief, a scumbag. That's all you are.
Yeah, I know.
What you do, 1 week is write down everything, what you spend your money on, right? Now, the first week you do a full shop, right? The second week you won't have to buy, we say, washing powder, washing up liquid, or shampoos, you know what I'm saying? Plus milk and butter now has a long shelf life. So you can buy in bulk with the milk. You buy 3 or 4, 2 litres of milk for the week, and that'll do you.
Special offers.
Yeah, like there is stuff, like the butchers now are doing...
You see, I'm wondering, Lisa, and I'm only throwing it out there, like, are you shopping cleverly in, buying special offers in different places and all that?
I do all my shopping in done stores, like. Do you know what I mean?
Well, would you not start shopping in Lidl's and Aldi's and all them as well?
You shop around like
me over them shops. My kids are not.
You're just a fucking idiot then.
Yeah.
That's how you've no money. You're just a fucking idiot. That meat comes from the same place.
Supermarkets.
Yeah, you're just an idiot. Like.
So sorry, Lisa. Did you just say you won't shop in the German supermarkets?
No.
Why?
Because we're not used to them. I wasn't brought up on Lidl and Aldi.
They're not used to what?
Well, not used to that cheap stuff.
What cheap stuff?
I worked in a supermarket for years. And the stuff that Lidl and Aldi sell, it's the very same stuff. There's no...
They do brand names.
Different can. It's in a different can, that's all.
And I tell you, they're a lot better.
Half the price. Half the price.
Yeah.
You can go up 1 week and buy everything for the whole week for €70, because my wife did it. It was €65, right? The following week she went up, and she only spent 28.
Yeah, yeah.
That was everything. That's
You don't mind me asking, but what's the show about budgeting and about...
Well, no. This show is about how they're, according to Sarah, they're... Oh, I don't know who I've lost there. Who did I lose there? Sarah, was that you?
No.
How, according to Sarah, there just is no excuse for robbing. End of story.
Well, that's her opinion. Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
But when you hear somebody saying... yeah, but hang on for 1 second. When you hear somebody saying, I'm so poverty-stricken that I have to go and steal, and then in the same breath saying, but I wouldn't shop in those German supermarkets. I mean, seriously, listen to yourself, Lisa.
Yeah, but I wasn't raised.
What's that got to do with anything? What's that got to do with anything?
My kids.
We weren't raised on them either. We were raised on the best of foods. But so what?
Well, maybe I used
now.
Now.
It's a different...
Yeah, well, I used to.
Then you get used. Well, you get used to it as well, because you know what? I hope when the budget comes through, you're fucking...
And Lisa, I have to be honest with you, and I'm sure I speak for an awful lot of people who do their shopping in Aldi and Lidl on a regular basis. You wouldn't do all your shopping there, but you can do an awful lot of it and get it for half the price in some cases. Now, that makes no sense to me that you just say, oh, well, I wouldn't go into them. That makes no...
Yeah,
I mean, a carrot is a carrot. Do you know what I mean? Whether you buy it in Lidl's or buy it in Dunnes Stores, a carrot is a carrot. Do you not get that, no?
Yeah, I do, but I just wouldn't go into them type of shops,
But you're so poverty stricken you have to go and rob. So beggars can't be choosers, can they?
Go into them shops.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, then Sarah's probably right. Then you're just a common thief.
She's just a fucking idiot. She is. She's just a thief. And she's looking for sympathy, and she's not going to get it.
I'm not looking for sympathy.
Yeah, looking for sympathy. You jump on the radio for, you're poverty stricken. When you go way out of that, you're a thief.
No, I'm not looking for sympathy.
You're just a scumbag thief.
There's not much of a difference in the prices in Aldi and Dunnes.
Yeah, there is.
Sure, how would you know? You don't go.
No, from what I've been told.
I'm just after telling you there's a huge difference.
I wouldn't.
There's a huge difference. You're just a scumbag. You probably spend your money on bills every weekend. You're a scumbag. Simple as that. You're a thief and a scumbag. Simple as. It's as simple as that. And I guarantee you I'm not the only one out there saying it either.
Look, I only texted in to say that I agreed with the man who was robbing the actor fella.
I never said that I didn't agree with him. No, hang on a minute. I never said I didn't agree with him. I said when you're that desperate, yeah, fair enough. But you're going out and planning it, and like the other fucking idiot that was on a minute ago saying that he's going to rob his turkey and his ham. They're just fucking thieves, and they're so used to robbing now. I hope you get caught soon, and I hope you get...
I mean, I have to be honest with you, Lisa, to hear somebody saying that she would rather shoplift than shop in Lidl or Aldi, that's pathetic. That really is.
That's your opinion.
It is, no, but it's pathetic. If you obviously don't mind shoplifting, you obviously think shoplifting is a perfectly acceptable thing to do, because if you didn't, you would go and shop in those supermarkets before you'd go and rob. Seriously. I'm shocked. Anyway, look, I'm going to have to leave it at that. Lisa, thanks for your call. Sarah, thank you for your call as well. Let me read a couple of your texts before we wrap this up. She's an idiot. I earn a decent amount of money and I shop in Lidl and Aldi. None of us were reared on those shops. Well, sure, they weren't around. Lisa's just a thief. I get annoyed that my tax money goes towards giving money to people like her. Aldi and Lidl has a cheaper, tasteless version of everything. Even the veg and fruit is different. Dirt. Wouldn't eat there, says Sean. Sean, that's absolute bull. Absolute bull. Because I do my shopping for vegetables and stuff like that in Lidl and Aldi. A potato is a potato. Don't care what you say. If you have potatoes, rice, cereal, sausages, mince, bit of veg and fruit, a packet of ham and the usual milk, bread, etc., what more do you need? They're about €30 in Aldi or Lidl. What more do you want? Well, according to some people, I wouldn't eat there. Seriously, what? Is that the Celtic Tiger rubbing off people or what? Adrian, I live in Foxrock and my mum buys from Aldi and Lidl from time to time. No bother, the quality is the same, says Lauren, although that's some of the conversation was about. That girl must be giving her child cereal for breakfast, dinner and tea, or buying the food in Aldi. That's just out of date. You can't survive on that money. I think people have to shoplift no other way. And that goes back to what Sarah was saying.